Folks, this next episode is going to require some homework. So you may want to hit pause, read the description, and check out the video that I mentioned. Cue the music. Hey, this is UFO Bus Radio, UFO News, report number 20. This episode is kind of a combination of both news, homework, and a lot of rain in the background because it is storming here in Dallas, Texas. And you're going to hear the sound effects. I'm sure the mic's going to pick it up, a bunch of noise. Mother Nature is pissing all over the place, and you're going to hear it. So there's not going to be any background music because we have natural stuff happening right now. Thunder, lightning, cats, dogs, there's all kind of stuff falling all over the place. So I had a hard time trying to name this episode because I wanted to make sure that the people that were going to listen to it knew that there is a current event aspect to this situation with Stan Romanek, but also that his story is one of those things in ufology that if it's true, you don't have to look anywhere else. The proof is there, it's in the pudding. However, slowly but surely, everything seems to be falling apart. Now, I mentioned at the beginning, at the intro, that you might want to do a little homework and watch the video that I mentioned in the description. For those of you that have Netflix, the film that I'm talking about is Extraordinary, the Stan Romanek story, which was released on Netflix on July 3rd. I saw it on July 3rd because it was intriguing. There's not going to be too much of a spoiler on this because those of you that are familiar with ufology have heard of Stan. Actually, if you've been watching any kind of documentaries at all over the last few years regarding ufology, you may have seen a very popular video and you were not even aware that the video and the person in it was Stan Romanek. The video on YouTube right now is named The Real Alien in the Window, the Boo video. And really most people say Boo video because in this you see what appears to be a gray alien peeking in through Romanek's window. And when he goes to the window and the alien disappears, he looks down outside and he gets scared by the gray. So this is called the Boo video. Now, the link for that Boo video on YouTube is in the description, so check it out if you want. Pause the podcast right now. If you have Netflix, I suggest you look at it because if you have Netflix, I suggest you take a look at the documentary. It's not a Stephen Greer type documentary. It doesn't have all the fancy bells and whistles. There is a lot of footage here that they took of Stan Romanek before the charges. Leading up to what was presented in the video, we're talking about an individual that was continuously reporting coming across UFOs out in Colorado. There was a point in this documentary, which we'll see, where he moved to Colorado Springs. If you know Colorado Springs, there's a significant military presence there. Besides that, you also have NORAD in Colorado Springs. While he was there, he was receiving messages from quote-unquote an ET that referred to him as a starseed, warning him that he was in their backyard, that he needed to leave Colorado Springs for his own safety. In this documentary, which actually has real footage of Stan Romanek, and it even includes footage of Alejandro Rojas, and you will know that name from openminds.tv. In the footage, Romanek complained about his computer being constantly hacked, receiving threatening phone calls, being threatened to keep quiet while he was walking the streets, and a lot of strange occurrences that you have to watch the video to see because it's actual footage. There was one point specifically involving Alejandro Rojas where an alleged hybrid child of Stan Romanek visited his home, and he took a picture of it, showed the picture to Alejandro Rojas, and the picture mysteriously, within a matter of a few minutes, right before he attempted to download it from his digital camera, deleted itself. The claims are extraordinary, but these are not reenactments. This is actual video footage. The problem that we have right now with Stan Romanek is the following. February of 2014, Stan Romanek was arrested on charges of possessing and distributing. I just hit my mic because my hands are flailing here. Possessing and distributing child pornography. A heinous crime. Horrific. Terrible. Stan, if you did this, you need to go to jail. Period. In the documentary, when you see it, his wife Lisa is in this video, and there is one point that's fascinating to me because she's talking about how she despises liars. And it became a very awkward moment in the documentary because the interviewer literally stops and confronts her about the idea that she despises liars. He then proceeds to ask her if she truly believes that what Stan is claiming is factual, meaning being taken away, having children which are half alien, receiving phone calls from those children, being visited by those children, and all the countless of UFO reports that he had. She vehemently proclaimed that she fully believed everything that Stan was saying. There is a quote on the internet from her that states, "Anyone who follows Stan is already aware of the harassment, break-ins, hacking, and remote access of our computers, for starters, that we have experienced." And then she adds, "We will be taking UFOlogy into the courtroom. We know that this has everything to do with our being outspoken about the ET UFO reality." Now, why this is news on this episode, it's because it's happening right now, folks. Earlier in the spring, Stan was supposed to have a jury trial. However, the trial was postponed. Apparently, there's new evidence in this trial, and so the new scheduled trial date is July 31st of this year. In many ways, Lisa Romanek is 1,000,000% correct. If it is found through evidence that Stan Romanek was not only in possession of child pornography, but also distributing child pornography, there is a problem here. Because you have some amazing footage, some amazing claims that are part of this documentary and part of this story, which gets thrown out the window because this individual took part in such a heinous crime. In addition to the child pornography, it is also reported that there was a group of individuals who actually claimed that for $90 they produced the Boo video for Romanek using CGI. With that alone, that is an amazing blow not only to his story but also to ufology as it is. But when you add the charges of child pornography, it just makes you wonder, where are things going? How is it that someone that has these extraordinary claims and all this video footage can throw away what may be the most significant and relevant amount of data in the topic of ufology over his own sick needs? There is, however, another aspect to this, one that I was not aware of, one that really shocked me. And it was presented within this video, this documentary of Stan Romanek. Apparently, Stan is not the only person in the United States that has been charged with the crime of distributing and being in possession of child pornography that has claimed that the pornography that was found in their systems was put on there by a virus. In fact, I was so shocked by it that I turned off my Wi-Fi. But I had to look at this a little closer because, honestly, anyone that makes any claims about ET or UFO, that any entity wants to keep you from being credible, can use this to pretty much get rid of you. And lo and behold, I did a search, and I have for you in the description the first 5 articles I came across. And there were thousands of articles. There is a virus, a Trojan, a group, an organization. There are people out there who can actually use a virus to place, without you knowing, working in the background, child pornography images and videos into your computer. That was one article I found. Another article says that the sick people that view child pornography have a way of storing this information not on their own computers, but through a virus or a Trojan. They remotely store it on your computer so that they can access your computer to get to it while they keep their computer clean and free of it. Of course, the documentary towards the end makes the claim that maybe it was a government agency that wanted to keep Stan's message out of the media and wanted to shut him down, and so we have these charges now. To be honest, only the evidence is going to speak clearly, but there is an issue. I mean, if this is what's happening, if there are people who have child pornography on their computers because of a Trojan or a virus that some organization is using, or some sick individual is storing it on your computer without you knowing, there is a big problem here. But starting July 31st, we are going to know what's the new evidence, and we'll get a glimpse of what's going to happen with the Stan Romanek story. There is no doubt that this story, no matter which way it goes, is going to impact ufology and the belief of many people. So I know I'll be keeping an eye on it. I'm going to keep an eye on it for the podcast. So we'll be hearing a little more about this in the near future. But please check out the videos, the one on YouTube for the Boo video. Check out the documentary on Netflix if you have access. If you have a family member that can pull it up for you so you can watch it, go ahead. I just want to say this is not a paid sponsorship by Netflix. They don't know me. I don't know them. They're just on my box. And check out the articles regarding these Trojan viruses, because I can tell you right now, none of that crap is on my computer. I think it's heinous. I think it's horrific. And if anyone tries to say that Manny Moonraker had this on his computer, they're full of shit. Lastly, if you haven't already, check out UFO Buster Radio on Patreon. Support the podcast for as little as $1, because we have a lot of work ahead of us. And you'll know once you see Patreon what I'm talking about. Be my patron. Help us get to the next level. With that said, if you like the podcast and you enjoy it, become a patron. This is Manny Moonraker. Episode 20 is done. Some really strange stuff is happening, but I hope you'll be back for the next UFO news report. Ciao.